reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network. I've been playing a lot of Riders of Icarus. Now, we've talked about this game for a little while, and this is one where the big hook for this one was the fact that you were going to be able to have mounts and dragons. And I'm showing off now for those of you watching the video the dragon that I did tame. And there's a whole bunch of different familiars, they call them out in the world, and you can tame them. That's the big hook for this game. That's what makes it different. So I have been playing it for the last couple of weeks. I was in for a press day they had, and I got into the head start. Now it's in, they call it open beta soft launch. Sorry, just a little bit of a cough there. But the open beta soft launch, no, I'm just going to call it a soft launch. It's launched. You can pay money for this now, so it's launched. And I've been playing for the last few weeks and streaming quite regularly in the mornings and having quite a bit of fun with it. I tried really, really hard to make it to the max level of 25, but I'm 23 3/4 at this point, and I am grinding like it's 1999, to quote the eloquent Harry Hall. A couple things I want to talk about. First of all, the combat is really fun. I am enjoying that. I've played the assassin class, which is a fast assassin class, and it's not based on stealth, it's based on quick movement and stabby. And I have been stabbing my way across the 4 zones available in the world. Now, these zones are not super huge. It's not the biggest world you've ever seen, but they're already starting to put out some new content, which we'll talk about a little bit later in this show. So first of all, let's talk about that familiar stuff, because the rest of it, the quest, this is a theme park MMO. There is no PvP. It's all PvE. You've got your dungeons. You've got your questing. We've all seen this a million times before. So how does the combat work? Well, it's fast-paced. It's fun. I liked the assassin. I'm going to try out the Guardian soon. I do want to try out some alts, which it's been a while since a game has been fun enough that I wanted to make alts. Usually I go through, get a good enough idea of the game, and either continue playing that one character or move along to the next game. Mm-hmm. One of the cool things, though, with those familiars, you can do some mounted combat. You can fight in the world using your crossbow or your lance that you get, and this comes around sometime in the mid-teens. You can get to do this, and you can attack from range or close up, and it works pretty well. They do have some mechanics in place where I can't, on my flying mount, out of range attack ground targets, for example. They just regenerate their health faster than I can kill them. But I can go around when I'm doing some quite repetitive quests and make it a little bit faster by having a mount, and by having this mounted combat. Works much better than Lotro's mounted combat, just saying. Yeah, that Lotro mounted combat.
That's a heck of a bar you're setting there.
I know. So you can do that on the ground mounts and on the flying mounts as well. I did find that the world was quite beautiful, very well done, nice, beautiful long draw distances for everything with the typical MMO sort of fogging as we get a little bit further, but that distance of the fogging was really, really nice. There was some pop-up with some stuff when you're flying around when stuff comes in, but it wasn't horrible. With the combat, one thing that was incredibly frustrating, though, was that as an assassin, a lot of the time I'd be trying to use my nimble dash, it's called, to get out of the way or to dodge stuff. And a lot of the time, I would find that my character would take the damage before the monster attacking me did the animation that caused the damage. And that was incredibly frustrating, especially with the big boss fights where they're hitting me for a lot of damage, and that's what kills me. That almost drove me away from the game. That was pretty bad. We're going to talk about the familiars in just a second, but I want to go and show and talk a little bit about my first dragon taming, which I think is a really good experience for what the taming is like. So I had a quest to go and get this dragon, and I flew through. I had to dodge using my super flying speed on my little phoenix that I was going through there, and I'm going through the heart of a volcano to get my first dragon. And so I fly through the volcano, flying through these valleys, dodging the boulders that these lava elementals are throwing up at me. and I get to the dragon, and I hit the key that puts me into taming mode. So I'm literally standing on top of my phoenix. You know, you see people riding horses, and they're standing on top of the horses. That's what I'm doing, going around, and I jump from my phoenix and land on my dragon. And then there's a little quick time event where you have to try and tame the the familiar. This time it was the dragon, and so I got it, and finally at level 20 I had my dragon, and he looks pretty darn badass. Volcanus is his name, and I really enjoyed that. So that was a fun experience. A lot of the other taming in the world is, well, to put it bluntly, tame. You go out and you find your familiar, you jump onto its back, you get your quick time event, you succeed or you don't. Sometimes you need to actually craft stuff to increase your chances to be able to tame them, or finish specific quests to be able to get them. So it's not just super simple, or get a specific item to be able to tame them. So it's not always just super simple. You do have to put in some work, but there are tons of familiars in this game. And we'll get to it as I talk a little bit about the UI, and that's one of the things that was really frustrating for me. The character screen is quite old. There's very little gear that you actually get. It's an old. It reminded me of the Ultima Online. The talent system that they've got that's there is super simple. You actually get your familiars, and when you tame them, you can actually put them in familiar orbs, and then you sacrifice them to get talent points. And that's how you get your talent. So you have to build up these talent points by getting more familiars. And is this sounding grindy yet at all, guys? Because it's a little bit grindy.
Yes.
Yeah. What is the worst part for me, though, was unfortunately the dungeon system. And what was not fun about it is that there's no queues. There's no finder, no party finder. Sorry, wait. There is a party finder. There is a party finder. It's a message board, basically, that you go to, and you can post looking for party, and then other people can look there and also maybe find a party. 5 of the, I think, 10 that I saw on the screen were gold spammers. 2 were guild invites, and then the rest were for groups that were not anywhere near what I was looking to get. So I had never ran a group dungeon. I didn't do any group contents or world bosses with anyone because it was nearly impossible to find a group to go in. I sat for 25 minutes outside of one of the dungeons, LFG, CM, Epic, right? And there's 3 levels for the dungeons. There's the solo, which, you know, it's the basic one, and then there's the epic, which you're supposed to be able to do on the easiest difficulty. As a solo player, I couldn't, so I was looking for groups. And then there's the heroic, which is the hard one, right? So I never got to all the stuff I wanted to do. I wanted to fight the big Titan that you saw in the trailer. Nope, didn't get to that. And I hadn't hit level 25 yet, but you know, I couldn't do any of the dungeon content, which I love. So that was a disappointment. The skill tree was quite linear, and the game is quite small. It's 4 zones. But like I said, they've already announced their plans to add 10 levels to the game and add some more familiars and stuff like that. But I think that my overall view of the game is that it was a lot of fun, but my first thought when I heard about 10 more levels was, oh crap, more leveling? That's not a good sign, guys. That's not something you really want to go to. Oh, they have crafting as well. It's a very basic crafting system, something we've seen before. The nice thing about it, though, is the store is purely cosmetics and like some health potions. That's it. There's no buffs that will make it pay to win or anything like that, which Black Desert is teasing now with some of their stuff. So it's a pretty good store as far as free-to-play stores go. Really, what this comes down to, guys, is that if you're looking for a grindy game and you don't mind some of the issues that I've mentioned here and you love mount collecting, this might be the game for you. I might be sticking around.
But it sounds so much like faint praise. It's like sarcasm. It's like if you like grindy games that are small, unfinished, and not completely interesting, this might be the game for you.
It's you know what? There is a type of person who likes the grindy game. They like this gotta catch 'em all sort of stuff. Hello, Pokemon Go, right? They like the idea that there's tons of stuff for them to do that's not just questing, which there is quite a bit of stuff here for them to do. But it does feel like a game that came out 10 years too late.
I have two problems already with this game. The first is your dragon was called Volcanus, something
because
like
I got
that?
him from a volcano.
Did you name the dragon?
No.
Okay, because there's no dragons called Tim or Jake or John? I mean, it has to be crystallophilic dives or epoxy resin or you don't. Why? It's so on the nose. And second, are these MMO designers from the Starbucks naming school? I mean, you have an easy dungeon, a little bit harder dungeon, and a hard dungeon, and they're calling it solo, epic, and heroic.
Yeah.
That's just.
Yeah.
That's just naming stuff for the sake of naming stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm loving this game so far.
I don't think this is a game for either of you. I don't think you'll really enjoy it. But the questing, the story was okay. It was.
Does it have spaceships?
It has airships.
It's no spaceships.
It has like manta rays that got me to the zone, the sort of level 23, 24, 25 leveling zone.
But you're going to space?
To another space.
Outer space.
No, you do not go to outer space. But there's lots of.
Then why would I want to play this game?
If you like I said, if you like mounts, if you want to collect stuff, if you don't mind the grind, it's I think a pretty okay game. There's some people that are like talking in chat. They're really, really enjoying it. I'm going to stick with it. I can't quite put my finger on exactly why. I think it's probably the mount collection. Hello, I haven't gotten my spider mount yet. But as soon as I get that spider mount, I'm gone.
I wasn't saying anything. I was about to, but I didn't say yes.
So there you go. That's my review of Riders of Icarus. If that sounds like something that you would be interested in, you should go and check that out. It is free to play, so there's no reason why, if you've got even a tiny bit of interest, you shouldn't go check it out. Thanks for watching the video, everybody. Don't forget to check out all the other podcasts at MMOReporter.com or by clicking on any of the links here. And please check out our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MMOReporter. Thanks, everyone, and see you in game.